So we did our predictions for what we thought was going to happen in D23 this year. Obviously, everything happened over the weekend, and so now we got some results. We know what exactly happened and what they've announced.
First of all, I gotta where's my put my Negro Diamonds hat back on for all of those wild predictions that were going to be happening in D23. Jodie Comer, Giancarlo Esposito, Denzel Washington, John Boyega, Henry Cavill. Not a single fucking person on that list.
None of it. Whoever brought that list up was...
Well, not to say that they're not going to be on there, but I should have known that they wouldn't be coming out of D23 based off of the tweet that we got it from. I am a very reliable source. Okay, never mind. Never mind. I should have just kept scrolling.
That's wild.
But that's what y'all was talking about, so we had to bring it up.
So we got some Wakanda Forever footage, and I believe some Ironheart series footage.
Well, they got it.
Obviously we didn't see it, but obviously they've done a little bit more in actually revealing Ironheart coming out. Mm-hmm. They did some revealing about Quantumania. I believe Paul Rudd, the girl who plays the Wasp, I can't remember her name.
Evangeline Lilly.
Yes. Yep. Her. And my boy, Jonathan Majors.
Okay. As Kang. That'd be interesting. I'd like to see how he looks.
Yeah. No, they came out, and I don't know if they gave footage, but I know Paul Rudd gave major props to Jonathan Majors as obviously the big bad in Quantumania.
Sure.
They provided some Secret Invasion footage, and Don Cheadle announced that Armor Wars will begin shooting next year.
First of all, Don Cheadle, they announced your show like 2 years ago, fam. So I don't want you telling me shit about starting shooting. Just show me some goddamn footage. They ain't even start shooting it yet.
Next year, bro.
We can't get no fucking respect at Disney. We'll get to Armor Wars in a second. Secret Invasion looks awesome. Secret Invasion looks chef's kiss. How that didn't make it into this phase, I will not... tonally, it doesn't fit. That's probably why. It just doesn't fit. It was serious. High suspense. High stakes. I got all that from a trailer. You feel me? Like, I think through most of what we've been getting in terms of projects, and obviously we got a long way to go, it feels like the tenor is changing. And I think that's a good thing. I think they experimented with some stuff in this phase. And, true to form, if you're a guy who's been highly successful of what it is that you do, you don't change course in the middle. If you had a plan to do something with this phase, whether it ended up being successful or not, you see it through and then you judge it after. You don't correct course in the middle, not if you're good at what you do.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
So, while I think it was a failure, it made sense that they actually, followed through on all of the projects. Now, what I've been getting here in D23, some of the trailers that they've released for up-and-coming projects, it does make me more hopeful for a Blade project. Because if Secret Invasion is something that's coming out in the same time frame as, or within the same phase as, Jonathan Majors led Quantumania, or, a Secret Invasion, Armor Wars, some projects with some more serious tenor to it, then that makes it feel a little bit better. Thunderbolts is another one that'll be, but I won't spoil everything.
No, you're good. Teaser trailer of Loki Season 2. Matt Shakman, the director for WandaVision, has been announced to direct Fantastic Four, but no casting for Fantastic Four.
Yeah. Visuals looked great in WandaVision. So he's writing and directing?
I just saw directing, but possibly
who's writing the script. But that bodes well because I think WandaVision looked great. I think it looked really good.
But no cast information.
Yeah, but again, the very reliable source didn't prove to be that reliable.
That's a fact.
So
okay. Daredevil, Born Again, with no footage, but I guess Homeboy came out and showed footage of him in She-Hulk, and then announced that it's the series is coming.
Yeah, we knew he was going to be in She-Hulk. I don't like it because I don't like what the show's going to do to him to set him up And I have no clue how he's going to come through in the plot at this point, but I know what they're going to do to him, and I just don't like that being. It's not his first appearance, but it kind of is, because his first appearance was in the Sony project. It was in the Spider-Man film. So now it's going to kind of feel like, okay, what is Matt Murdock in the MCU? Yeah. Is he the calm, stoic guy we saw in No Way Home, or is he what's sure to either be an underpowered oaf or some sort of misogynist? And
something comical,
because you literally can't be a man in that show without being a dumbass or an asshole, some variation of an ass.
Yeah, they showed Anthony Mackie and then the director of New World Order, and then they showed that Isaiah Bradley will be in New World Order. Any thoughts on that?
That's what's up. I'm glad that's happening. I don't know what's wrong with Anthony Mackie, or how he's got his wires crossed, or maybe he just knows how to pet the right egos and to stay perfectly within his lane so he doesn't upset people. But when you're asked, Anthony Mackie, whether or not they want a Steve Rogers in your movie, you say this is Sam Wilson's movie. You say this is Sam Wilson's movie. You know how 40 times already in She-Hulk, Tatiana Maslany has reminded us that, hey, this is my show. This is my show. Maybe you needed some of that. Maybe you needed some of that. What kind of cuckery? Oh, well, Sebastian got a job with John Carter, so I think I should have Steve. Family,
yikes.
You don't want that. Is it your movie or not?
No.
Hey, man, when the lead actor is asking for another lead to be in his movie to overshadow him, I have no confidence in that project.
Yeah, no, that's wild.
I have no confidence in that project whatsoever.
Whew. Yikes.
But let's actually analyze it. There's a lot of different ways I think that they can go with that script with Sam Wilson. If they are going to have Steve Rogers in there, I'm thinking like a secret society version. Because you think about it, right? So old man Steve went back in Endgame, ended up living his whole life with Betty Carter, and then ends up being an old man. Well, what if before, somewhere around that time of settling down with Betty Carter, he ends up, I don't know, infiltrating Hydra? Or I guess my thing is like, what if there's still another version of Steve Rogers out there currently doing stuff? Mm-hmm. You know, currently out there fighting crime or not. What if Sam Wilson has to fight a evil Steve Rogers? I think it's gonna have to do with the borders thing that Carly Morgenthau was fighting for in the series, the Falcon and Winter Soldier series. Hence the New World Order thing. I don't know. A lot of ways they can go. But the few ways that they can absolutely screw it up to me is by them trying to, talk about race relations, because they don't want to do it honestly. So it's just going to come off cringe and very that W word that, you know, the racists love. Mm-hmm. I won't say it. And then also allowing Steve Rogers to overshadow Sam Wilson in this movie. Mm-hmm. If Steve Rogers is in this movie, and that's a big if. Mm-hmm. If he is, it's gotta be at a deferred role.
Yeah.
Right? Like, if you're trying to convince me that Sam Wilson is the new Captain America, it does absolutely nothing for you to put him in this movie. In a prominent role.
I kind of felt weird about Isaiah Bradley being in it, just because I kind of felt like they were going to revert a little bit back to the Falcon and the Winter Soldier a little bit and kind of start telling a little bit of the same story again, especially with Nate Moore saying that he needs to do more work to become Captain America. I just kind of felt like they might revert at least a little bit into that, but maybe not.
Maybe that's setting him up for a younger Avengers appearance or something like that.
Yeah, I think you'll still probably get that, but in the way that Sam Wilson's still going to show up at Isaiah Bradley's door trying to figure out more of what he needs to do.
Maybe we get some flashback. Oh, okay, that's the way that they can do it. That's the way that they can do it. They show a flashback scene of Isaiah Bradley as Captain America, and maybe, well, no, he never ran into Steve. That was years before Steve, before he ever got the super soldier serum. They could still do that for Isaiah Bradley, though. I would love to see him and Winter Soldier fighting back in the day.
They got some Marvel's footage. Apparently, obviously everybody's going to be in it. Captain Marvel, Miss Marvel, and Monica Rambeau.
I'm liking this less and less the more that I'm seeing it, because now it goes to what was supposed to be Monica Rambeau's coming out. Y'all remember that at the end of WandaVision, you will see Monica Rambeau again and blah, blah, blah. The Marvels, I think it even said, right? Yeah, okay. Mm-hmm. So then now it's turned into this ensemble movie where apparently the rumor is that it is a mashup. It's going to be a 3-parted superhero story where they change bodies every time they use their powers. This is problematic. And the reason why I know it's going to be problematic is because they've already tried to do this in comic books, and that shit did not go well. That shit did not go well. Tried to put a white British girl into an Asian girl's body, and people lost their minds over that shit. They still talk about it today, and it happened like 30 years ago. Like, anytime you see a new run kicked off with either one of those characters, Psylocke or Betsy Braddock, they immediately talk about that. Somebody makes a joke about it, a reference. You may see them passing by each other in a comic book, cutting their eyes at each other. Like, it's a whole fucking thing, because here on the outside, to the reader beyond, the fourth wall there was a whole bunch of controversy over that, and they're still apologizing for it anytime those people cross their paths in the comic books every single time. Like, yeah, that was a pretty dumbass decision. So what do you think is going to be when, the young Pakistani girl has to play a third of the movie in Brie Larson's body, not as herself? Or if the white woman has to be inside of Monica Rambeau's body for a third of the movie because, the plot. Like, I why?
Yeah.
Why?
It's a little nuts.
Why? And I've already got an asterisk around Captain Marvel because I absolutely believe that movie only made $1 million because it was sandwiched in between Infinity War and Endgame. 1000% believe that.
Yeah.
However, they've got some opportunity here. I haven't heard any leaks about Blue Marvel either, which is a big disappointment. Maybe still some potential there for that to happen, but not in the movie, I guess. I don't know. We'll see. We'll have to see.
Yeah.
Opportunity there, but also maybe not the most positive opportunity. There's opportunity for that shit to go absolutely left if they don't write that script in a very tasteful way.
Yeah.
Because the idea of swapping Brie Larson into these two color bodies is just cringe off of reaction of hearing it to me. I don't think they thought that one through.
Put it that way, that sounds even worse.
Yeah.
The Thunderbolts lineup was announced. Red Guardian, Ghost, Taskmaster, U.S. Agent, Yelena, and Winter Soldier.
I think this was the most underwhelming announcement.
I would agree.
Also, let me put my Negrodamus hat back on and tell you that I predicted that Val would now be running the Thunderbolts team in the loss of the late, great William Hurt.
Yeah.
I am batting 1,000, baby. Batting 1,000. Very underwhelming. Very underwhelming, because it just so happens that each and every one of those characters, save you maybe John Carter, because that seemed to be one of the more popular Disney Plus shows. Not one of the more popular characters, but one of the better shows itself.
Winter Soldier.
I don't even think people are going to remember who Ghost is from Ant-Man 2. I don't think people are ever going to remember who the fuck she is. Somebody noticeably missing, though. How is Baron Zemo not in the Thunderbolts?
That was a little weird.
How is Baron Zemo not in the Thunderbolts? Now, I don't think they'll leave it that way. I can't imagine. It doesn't even... Like, how does that happen? He'll probably show up in the movie.
But you'll have Bucky and Zemo together in the...
They did just fine in the...
That's a fact.
In the series. Yeah. They was fist pumping with each other in the club.
Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact.
And since we're just letting, Zemo out of prison, letting him running around after murdering a black king. I guess he's going to lead the Thunderbolts. Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see.
So, that was a lot of Marvel news, but I think one of the biggest things that happened at D23 is they rolled out some footage for Little Mermaid, including Halle Bailey.
Sure.
And a lot of backlash about her being black, which is...
It's so weird because it's like, we already did this. Like, you've known for like 2 years that she's going to be Ariel. Like, fam, seeing her on screen shouldn't make you feel any differently. You already voiced your upsetness about it, but...
Now there's footage. Oh, it's even worse.
Okay. So... we already know who those people are and what their motivations is, so it's not even necessary to address them. Correct. My question to Disney is, when you sell the merch from now on, not just around this movie, when, like I guess my daughter one day buys an Ariel toy 10 years from now, will it still be a black girl? When we watch an Ariel cartoon, a Little Mermaid cartoon at some point after this movie drops, will it be a little black girl? Are you all in about representation, or is it just a cash grab? Are you going to propagate it in other forms of media and merchandising, or are you just using this as a quick cash grab for a new budding star?
I'm going
cash grab. Because if it's not going to be propagated, then that's exactly what it is. Mm-hmm. Another Trojan horse to somebody else's social issue. And I have to call it out for what it is. I'm going to be very fair to them here in a second. So, just bear with me with the criticism. But it's performative if it doesn't last.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We will see.
Yeah. That's all the info I had from D23.
There was the the Disney series about Lion King.
Oh,
it's going to be the prequel for Mufasa.
Yep,
apparently, Mufasa was adopted and not Scar. Where'd that come from?
Yeah.
But it's an original story, not one that they stole from Japanese comic artists.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think I'd rather see a Scar film.
Yeah.
Just to see how he got to be so fucking jaded. But,
And then also, so we've got a Waiju. It's going to be an Afro-futuristic cartoon animation. It's kind of a coming-of-age story is what it's been described as. So I feel like some of the heads that are over African-American projects now are just going to kind of be spread out on all of these projects. I would look for some diversity in the, not necessarily, if you want to hire somebody black, it's fine, I guess. But maybe don't do with this one size fits all way of storytelling. If we're talking about doing something like this, I think the potential of something like this is huge. So yes, I would like to see it on screen. Do I want to see Nate Moore and Ryan Coogler doing anything that's black at Marvel? No, not even just because of the Black Panther stuff. It's because then their perspective and their idea of what is good representation for us is fixed, and there will be absolutely no nuance. So I just hope that they give another creative team a chance to do something with it and not just look to Ryan and Nate every time they got a black project to kick off.
I agree with that. Give somebody else the opportunity or the space for opportunity to grow into what at least we see Ryan Coogler and Nate Moore as, I guess, as a whole.
Yeah.
Even though we don't maybe see them in the same way, but give them the opportunity to become that big as well.
Sure. Yep.
I agree with that. Any other thoughts on D23?
So what that tells me is that we're probably looking forward to a much more exciting Comic-Con coming in the spring. If they held back the casting information for a lot of this stuff, they didn't release a lot of the footage that was shown. I expect Comic-Con in the spring to be a lot more raucous. Also, shout out to Iwaju. Shout out to Ironheart, Armored Wars, Secret Invasion. For all my folks out there who are, anti-recaster or not, necessarily in the camp that we are in terms of, certain issues with black representation, race swap, and things of that nature. I want you to start asking Disney. Like, I want this to be more of a thing, even beyond the recast T'Challa thing. I want this to be a thing where we start likening how we look in the MCU, and what our roles are, and then just start looking at everybody else and see if we measure up. You don't have to take my word for it, right? I think I've said it enough. I provided enough evidence. So at this point, if we still here, then just do it for yourself. See if you measure up. Some of the things that I've noticed is that the last time we got a phase reveal, like last year, or a TV show reveal or something like that from Disney, Armor Wars was on there. Secret Invasion was on there. We knew about these projects for multiple years now. Now, Secret Invasion looks like it's going to come out pretty soon. But keep pushing for more. Because as I look at this landscape, we got T'Challa coming down. Monica Rambeau went from being a co-star in a movie to being part of an ensemble cast. Armor Wars has been delayed all the way into 2023, right? Or late 2022. I'm not sure. When did it say it was going to premiere?
I think it's going to be 2023.
2023, which is ridiculous. Then you got Ironheart, which was supposed to come out prior to Black Panther 2 and now ends up coming out in 2023 as well.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, come on, let's get to it. We keep talking about it. We keep talking about what we want to do, but it's like, we're not getting anything.
And since they've already been pushed back, it's hard to trust that they're for sure going to come out when they say they're going to come out.
Now, I'll continue to be fair. The fact that they're even on the slate right now or in production for some projects is more than what we're getting at over there at Warner Brothers or DC. That's a fact. The fact that it's even in production, that it's being worked on, is a step above other studios. My problem is that Disney pats themselves on the back for the bare minimum and doesn't take the next step to be elite. You want to do something, do it. Otherwise, I could criticize you just as much as I can criticize anyone else. So that's where I'm at with it. Give us your thoughts on, oh my God, I was getting ready to say San Diego Comic-Con. Give us your thoughts on D23, all the reveals we did get and didn't get. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and come back next week for another video.
Absolutely, and make sure you check out our previous video on the predictions that we did for D23, just to kind of see what we got right, what we got wrong. And make sure you subscribe because we like to talk about all Marvel news pretty much until at least Wakanda Forever comes out, and then we'll see where we go from there.
Then we're going to review Black Adam 5 times in a row.